All right, Bulls Nation, let's get into this recap of the Chicago Bulls versus Denver Nuggets. Now, in this game, we did come out with a far better effort. We were more focused. We did a good job of responding after a poor showing in the previous game. And this game, we kind of provided a reassuring effort of how we can compete with other NBA teams if we come out with this same type of effort and focus, um, game in and game out. But it was encouraging to see, a solid defensive effort. But unfortunately, the Bulls were unable to finish off the Nuggets, allowing an offensive rebound on the final play in which Paul Millsap put the ball back up and in as the Nuggets defeated our Bulls 108-107. That marked the 23rd second chance point by the Denver Nuggets. So while we did have some encouraging signs in this game, the defense certainly was better. Um, we were able to hold one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league, and the Denver Nuggets, to 23% from three-point shooting, and forced 16 turnovers. But that final aspect of defense, of just finishing off the play with getting that defensive rebound, we were unable to control tonight, as the Nuggets actually out-rebounded us and certainly won the second chance point battle. There were, however, some encouraging signs throughout the night. Some key notes from tonight's game. Jabari Parker got his first start as he started at power forward for tonight's game. And I think that was more of a move by Hoiberg, primarily because of the size of Denver. I mean, we certainly didn't want to throw Chandler Hutchison out up against Millsap. But, Jabari Parker only ended up with 6 points in 35 minutes. Pretty much was saddled with foul trouble throughout the game. Um, and that pretty much limited him in his ability to get some rhythm. Another solid performance for tonight was by Chandler Hutchison. The bench did a pretty good job between Chandler Hutchison and Antonio Blakeney. Hutch had 8 points and 7 rebounds, and in 13 minutes, Antonio Blakeney finished the night with 15 points and 3 rebounds. Also, Zach LaVine had a phenomenal night as usual. His shooting was off a little bit. Denver did a pretty good job of limiting him, but he did finish with 28 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, continuing solid play that he has displayed throughout the year thus far. Um, some other key points for tonight's game. One of the interesting thing about tonight's game was that the Bulls actually shot the ball better from three-point range than they did from two-point range. We finished with 47% shooting from behind the arc and 42% shooting inside of it. So that was an interesting thing to see. The three-point shot was the great equalizer for us for the most part during the first half, because when it seemed like Denver was pulling away, there seemed to always be a three-point shot getting knocked down by one of the Bulls to kind of put them back in contention, and then ultimately were able to get some leads in that second half, and into overtime. Um, but another thing that I wanted to talk about was Wendell Carter Jr. I think a few episodes back I talked about how I was hoping the Chicago Bulls would make a concerted effort to get him involved offensively, because he can bring more to the table than defense and rebounding, and they did just that tonight. As Wendell had a phenomenal evening, had a career high of 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, as well as 3 blocks. This young man brings a lot to the table, not just on the defensive end, but on the offensive end. I think he has the potential to be a excellent two-way player in this league. And so it was definitely good to see the Bulls actually drawing plays up for him, making a commitment to get him involved. And he was also a lot more aggressive than I had seen him throughout any time during the regular season on the offensive end. Um, and that was certainly a good thing to see. I think that this is hopefully something we'll continue to see as he continues to grow and develop over from game in to game out. Because with the injuries that we have, I certainly wanted the Bulls to not only just establish Zach LaVine and Jabari Parker as our scorers, but get that third guy in there until we can get Laurie Market in and Bobby Portis and Valentine back in the fold. Get him going. Start to develop our young guys so that when we do have a full strength team, when our roster is back healthy again, we can start to build something special here. And I think the more we look to get guys like Wendell Carter Jr. and Chandler Hutchison and so forth and so on going during this time where they're getting a lot of minutes and a lot of playing time, it can only bode well for the Bulls in the future. Um, One thing I would like to see going forward with this group, while we do have the injuries, is Zach LaVine and Carter Jr. in more pick and roll situations. I think that would make for some good basketball. Now, moving on to our next topic, I want to give a special heartfelt shout out to Derrick Rose. I mean, all of us in Bulls Nation, many of us, myself included, we still hold Derrick Rose near and dear to our hearts, even though he's no longer with our Bulls. We certainly want to see the best for him um, in all he does actually. So tonight it was such an inspiring performance to see him have a career night in terms of scoring, as he finished with 50 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. Truly the definition of perseverance, hard work, believing in yourself, never giving up on your dream. Um, that was just a beautiful sight to see. It was certainly inspiring, not only for any athlete, but just a person in general, that as adversity arises in our lives day in and day out, just, hey, as the song say, dust yourself off and try again. And he's definitely done that. So it was definitely good to see. All right, Bulls Nation, as we near a conclusion of tonight's episode, I want to give a special shout out to the Chicago Bull Player of the Month, none other than Zachariah Levine, as he finished the month averaging 28 points, 5 rebounds on 3 assists, and had a phenomenal was efficient from the field at 51% from 2-point range, 38 from 3-point range, and 83% from the free throw line.